Shalom. Before I begin, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Chakwadash, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who are teaching 100% truth of the Holy Scriptures. Shalom to the elect, and shalom to the brothers that are pushing the word of Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai in truth and sincerity. And this lesson is going to be entitled, Anybody in their right mind sees this earth has to be cleansed. And the inspiration comes from my brother had posted this video on the chat, and it sparked my mind to do something, right? And this kind of got nothing to do with it.
An emergency SOS call from the Netherlands. All hope is lost. Please save us. I'm calling on the international community to do something about the extreme disease that is in charge of the Netherlands. Just tonight, our parliament discussed a new law that will allow two men to donate DNA material to create a joint embryo out of two men, meaning a child born of two men, and will also allow a single person to mate with themselves to produce a self-fertilized egg and then create a child with only one biological parent. This comes after the Netherlands legalized gay marriage, after we had the first gay prime minister, after we invented the Dutch protocol, which is an unscientific, unproven way of castrating a man and then giving him a fake vagina with tissue from out of his ass. I'm not kidding about that. We're allowing euthanasia of children from ages 12 and up, and 16 and 17-year-olds can have themselves euthanized without their parental consent. We are also allowing, under the Groningen Protocol, the euthanasia of children up to 1 year old. So if you don't like your child, you can get rid of it after it's been born. Of course, we have abortion up to birth, right? We had the world's first pedophile party taking part in our elections. My God, I can't do this anymore. I wasn't born to grow up in this Sodom and Gomorrah of the world. I am of the opinion that this country needs to be vaporized. And I hereby call upon President Donald Trump, on President Putin of Russia, and the Ayatollah of Iran to point your nuclear rockets at this country and blast it to shits. Away with this. This cannot heal without first bombing it to the ground. This isn't.
And you see that guy, he was in the spirit. And I mean, who knows if he's a Jake or not, but he sees the Sodom and Gomorrah like behavior, pedophile parties, and he was speaking about doing euthanasia, basically murdering your 1 year old child. And I remember some time ago, I don't remember the exact date, but that's what they were talking about, is having abortions up until the child is born. So you see the wickedness in that? I mean, abortion is wicked in altogether. Right, but now it's like this baby has the arms and his fingers, are separate, right? Because the early stages, Esau likes to say, "Oh well, there's no life in that. It's whatever." But overall, it's a wicked action, abortion, right? You do is mold people in charge, and you know what I'm saying. He said this Sodom and Gomorrah type of place, but what he doesn't understand is that this whole earth has to be cleansed because it's under the vibration of Esau, Edom, mainly America, because that's who they use in order to spearhead not only the violence, but also the different wines of homosexuality, the LGTB, and I think it was here in California, you didn't need your parents, a child didn't need his parents' permission to do sex changes. You see, this place, it's not just Netherlands. It's starting here with America. This shit has to be, like the dude said, wiped off vaporized. You see here, I'm going to start with that. I was originally going to end with that. But this is the book of, because it kind of says the same thing here in the book of Revelation towards the end of Isaiah 13. This is Revelation 18 and verse 1. And after these things I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen, and is become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. Right, because we're gonna read in Isaiah the 19th chapter. It's all lines up together. It's different time periods, but they're seeing the same vision. That's the beauty of going precept upon precept. The Lord gave the same, maybe not the same vision, but different perspectives of the same vision to different prophets at different times in the world. Right, and this place that it says Babylon the Great has fallen is talking about here in United States, and it's what it has become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and the cage of every unclean and hateful bird, meaning that it's not going to be inhabited by humans. It's only going to be desert creatures, like we're going to read. It says here's the point: for all nations have drunken of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. Because America is a import heavy nation. The case in point, look how China got rich off America. They sent all of the manufacture over there, and then they just brought it over here. You make a certain thing for pennies, and you sell it over here for hella dollars. And the merchants is these different vendors that they come. You got your Louis Vuitton, your different automobiles, just everything, man. It's all here in America, and these other nations, they get rich off it. That's where you had that demon Neuro 47 talking about I forgot how he says it. Basically, y'all ain't buying none of our shit because things made here in America are shit. There's no quality here. And the thing with America is always the pride and shit like that. This place is a swamp. Going to Isaiah 13 and verse 19, it says, And Babylon, the glory of the kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency, shall be as when the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. Right? And we read up on this chapter, and it's talking about Babylon here. Okay? America. Right? It says, as when the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. And we read in the book of Genesis how the Lord did away with Sodom and Gomorrah was by fire. Oh, man. Let me see. It says, it shall never be, verse 20, it shall never be inhabited, neither shall it dwell from generation to generation, neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there, neither shall the shepherds make their fold, right? Because it's not going to be inhabitable. You had Apostle Ariamlab talking about earlier today, or was it yesterday, on his live stream, speaking about how you're not going to know where California ended and Nevada started. Right? And it says, ain't no one going to be able to, the Arabian ain't going to pitch tent here, meaning that you ain't going to be able to set up shop. Because what? It says, but wild beasts of the desert shall lie there, and their houses shall be full of doleful creatures, and owls shall dwell there, and satyrs shall dance there. All right. It says, and the wild beasts of the island shall cry in their desolate houses, and the dragons in their pleasant places, and her time is near to come, and her days shall not be prolonged. And that's the time that we're at now. Right? The prophecies is coming to pass, man. And the one that we waiting for is the MOTB, which infrastructure's there. Now, we just need a false flag to truly get it popping. I'm gonna look something up right quick and so like you just bear with me. Okay, here. This is 2 Peter chapter 2 and verse 6. It says, and turning the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah unto ashes, condemned them with an overthrow, making them an example unto those that after should live ungodly. All right, so the Lord, he made Sodom and Gomorrah as a warning. Like, this is what happens when you do all types of sodomy, all types of bestiality, women on women, when you rape children, right? And again, this ain't nothing new. That shit was happening in ancient Greece as well. A thing called catamites. So Yahweh Shem Yahushai is going to do away with this place as he did Sodom and Gomorrah. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 17 and verse 15. It says, and he saith unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the whore sitteth, are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. And that whore being Babylon the Great. She is also known as a whore, right? And she sits on all the people, meaning that America has embassies all throughout the earth. That's how she's sitting. We're saying the waters, and the waters which thou sawest, where the whore sitteth, are peoples, multitudes, and nations and tongues. So she is scattered abroad. Just like in the book of Habakkuk, it tells us that she can't stay at home, roughly paraphrasing. It says, and the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh, and burn her with fire. And these 10 horns being NATO and the EU. Because, like it tells us in the book of, Malachi? Yeah, I think it's the book of Malachi where it tells us that all those that were confederate with her basically going to turn up against her. And that's why the Lord has been putting that divide between Nero 47, America, and even the cabinet. All those Pete Hegseth and these proud Edomites that basically like, we'll need y'all. Trump would always say, that's the war that's over there. We got a big ocean between us. France, ain't in the friendliest terms. Germany. And soon, man, it's going to be these other nations. They're all going to turn their nuclear weapons and fire on America. See, because Netherlands, that's child's play. That's just, a limb in wickedness, so to speak. You gotta aim for the head, and the head being America. And they gonna eat her flesh and burn her with fire, thermonuclear fire for this bitch. It says, "For the Most High hath put in their hearts to fulfill his will, and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast, until the words of the Most High shall be fulfilled. And the woman which thou sawest is the great city which reigneth over the kings of the earth." Right? So Yahweh Bashem Yahushai has given full control, because you have the EU, they'll say something, but then what? Big Bad America says, no, hell nah. They have full veto power, and if I say I want it, like Trump, right? He went up in the G7 summit last week talking about, I'm the boss. Right? And they confronted, well, he said, I was just playing bullshit. Him and his diaper. He ain't fucking around. He said, I'm the boss. Going to the book of Zephaniah, chapter 3 and verse 8. It says, "Therefore wait ye upon me, saith Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, until the day that I rise up to the prey. My indignation is to gather the nations, that I might assemble the kingdoms, to pour upon them mine indignation, even all my fierce anger, for all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy." And that right there is talking about World War III. It's going to be in the Middle East. That's why so much commotion is happening over there. Israel saying, fuck that peace deal, I'm going to still bomb Lebanon. All right, we finna go attack Turkey because their way of thinking is that of one that says, if I forgot how that general was explaining it, the way Israel thinks is, I'm gonna just roughly paraphrase it, is if they have the means to do it, then we have to attack them. That's the easiest way I could say it. That is their mind state of the Middle East. By saying, okay, if they got the means to do it, then we have to attack them so they don't. Which, that's a terrible way of thinking. Because they want to go against Turkey. All right, but they're going to get done up. So now going to the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 15 and verse 6, it says, "For wickedness hath exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled." Right? So we see wickedness at an all-time high, and that shit is just overwhelming. You can't watch a TV show without moles. You can't go down the street without seeing some lesbians or some bull dykes. You can't go in the store and check out without a transformer ringing you up. That shit is vexing, man. We see it. "Therefore thus saith Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit, neither will I suffer them in those things, in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually." And that's what we're doing. I'm saying, Lord, please, like the dude said, vaporize this place. Put Esau under subjection, man. Them Epstein files, motherfuckers is still turning up, but yet they're drinking baby blood, man. Eating fucking babies, raping, sodomizing children, bro. Like I be seeing on the comments, they ain't mad enough or some shit like that. But let them, turn the grid off, man. I'm going to end off with this here Psalms, chapter 5 and verse 10. 5 and verse 9. It says, "For there is no faithfulness in their mouth. Their inward part is very wickedness. Their throat is an open sepulchre. They flatter with their tongue." And that's straight up Esau. All right. Their inward part is very wickedness. The scriptures speak about they can't go to sleep without them causing someone to fall. Roughly paraphrasing. Excuse me. Get some water. Verse 10. Destroy thou them, O power. Let them fall by their own counsels. Cast them out in the multitude of their transgressions, for they have rebelled against thee. All right, by ways of coming up against the truth. I was just thinking, man, they done perverted the rainbow. Now, rainbow, which is a beautiful thing, has that context, or that the it's a sign for being, going, just being a goddamn freak, being a nasty freak. Now it's tied to demonic, when in reality, it's a beautiful, merciful thing. And I was just thinking also, rainbows is everywhere basically, as far as like the physical, not the physical, but like all it is just light. The way light reflects off things, and like the spectrum of it, right? And that's why I think they use that. It's just my not manly, it's not doctrine or nothing, but it's just a thought that came to mind through the spirit, is that's why they're pushing that shit everywhere, because the rainbow in reality is everywhere. Again, it's just the way how light, the spectrum of the light hits certain things, and you know what I'm saying. So I think that's why they use that symbol, because they put that shit everywhere, because the rainbow is everywhere, So they gonna ultimately fall by their own counsels. They had a thing, I should say, plan's still there, but the Georgia Guidestones have been knocked down, and one of them things was to keep humanity under 500 million. So they plan on killing 8 billion people, man. Roughly 8 billion and a half people. And they show you that in that movie, the zombie movie, when they were downstairs, they were underground. The Hive, Resident Evil, right? So yeah, that was it. Lord willing, it was edifying. Gonna close out by giving all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rachakwadash, Brakate Yahweh, Brakate Yahweh Shai, Shalom.